Woods Hole, kind of a mind-blowing day today. Everything from bottom-up microbes controlling global systems to checking out Alvin, and really inspirational. So we're talking about citizen science, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about Daria's project about divers getting involved in collecting data.
Sure. The project is called Divers for Oceanography, and the idea came to me when I was diving at a spot in Hawaii a couple of years ago. It's a famous spot for manta ray gatherings, and divers go to that spot, they all descend to the bottom, and they wait until watch manta rays feed on the plankton right above them. And when I was doing that dive, there were 50 divers sitting on the bottom, and I thought, these guys are just sensors. They're just descending, ascending, and they're temperature sensors, and each of them is collecting data. And I thought, there's 10 million divers out there. There are 10 million sensors. There's a historical buildup of data. If only we could collect it and put it to the use of scientists. So that's how the idea started. And
so when you say sensors, what do you mean?
I mean temperature sensors.
So literally, if they were carrying a device or something, what are you thinking?
They wear dive computers.
I see.
These computers, good or bad, highly technological, very simple, they all have a thermistor in them.
I see. And if they all plugged in.
Yes, exactly. And they have logs which they record the bottom temperature anyway. So all we have to do is get the data together.
Cool idea. I'm sorry, I'm interviewing.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Hijacking my blog.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So tell me a little bit about that story about how people were collecting data, hundreds of years ago, and how important that was.
Yes. So one of the first reactions people give when I mention this dive computer data is, they're not accurate enough, they're not sensitive enough, you're never going to get something that makes sense. And then I always tell them about this paper that came out in Nature about a decade ago that takes temperature measurements from late 1800s that were made using buckets thrown overboard, water pulled up, temperature measured, to mercury thermometers, reversing thermometers, and yet those data starting from the 1800s till today from different platforms tell us a lot about the tendency of warming or cooling of our global oceans. So if those data, when put together, make sense, dive computer data will definitely make sense. And we have done tests to verify some of them.
That's so great. Thank you so much, Daria.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's really a pleasure. So I just want one closing thing. I just am so excited about citizen science because when you get thousands of people, think of 10,000 people all over the world collecting data, and then it gets computed here by great scientists like Daria and working on computer models, talking about trends and global warming. And then when the data sets get released, then you have 10,000 people talking about the importance of these trends all over the world. I just think that's great.